Giridharadhari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We can chant together. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishaki Ananjana Shalaka Chakshu Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhaktavinda. Jai. Now that Prem Sindhu Prabhu is here, we can start the class. Now that you are here, we can start. We are waiting. Okay, so Hare Krishna, devotees. Today we are discussing from text 14, Canto 2, chapter 3, text 14. And the context little bit here is that in the previous chapter, who knows the chapter name? The change of heart. Yeah. And then this chapter is pure devotional service. So in the beginning of this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami was discussing that, how there are all different types of material desires that people have and how they can fulfill them. And there are, different demigods, different ways one can achieve their material desires. But then it is not the best for the living entities. So then it goes on to the famous text 10, which is about pure devotional service, the essence of pure devotional service. Right? Yeah. Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udarati trivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. So it's about the trivra bhakti, right? And Prabhupada writes here with great force. And then the last verse we were discussing about the question that Sonak Rishi asked Sukadeva Goswami. Sorry, Sutta Goswami, he asked. So this is again back in Naimisharanya, and the question was that um, Sonak Rishi is asking, the son of Vyasadeva, Srila Sukdev Goswami, was a highly learned sage and was able to describe things in a poetic manner. What did Maharaj Parikshit again inquire from him after hearing all that he said? So this is really nice attitude of a listener, right? He's questioning that, okay, tell me more, right? Sometimes that also shows the seriousness of a devotee when they are listening, when they are listening properly. So sometimes it's just, listening means it goes from here and comes out from here, but nothing goes inside. And you can see the seriousness here is that he is again inquiring, and not some very esoteric question. Just he's asking, okay, what's next? Tell me more. So many times we also experience that when we are inviting somebody to the temple or to any programs, and we can see the attitude. We know that, okay, this person is serious or not by the response. If you say that, hey, there is a program here, so they will say, all right, that's good information, thank you, I'll try to come, or I'll come. They'll just, I'll come. But somebody who is serious, so they will ask, oh, okay, so where is the parking? And okay, which floor is the program at, right? Is there some, like, which door, front door, back door? So they know that, okay, this guy is serious, right? So for us also it is applicable. Many times we also just say for the sake of saying, but don't really mean it. But if it's a spiritual matter, if it is important, then it's very important that we take it seriously. So yeah, I was listening to Srila Prabhupada's class on this verse last week, and so it is very interesting. I was just asking Mataji that here it is described that Sukdev Goswami is describing things in a poetic manner, and in the purport, 26 qualities which are described in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, right? So I was just asking Mataji why there is this need of being poetic, right? So anyone would like to share? Mataji already shared a very nice answer. Prabhu, Prem Sindhu Prabhu.
What is the need to be poetic? Krishna is not looking at poetry, but I think Krishna may give that qualification if you are a Vaishnava to glorify him, because everybody likes poems.
Is everything okay, Mataji?
Something else came, but now.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, Prabhupada says that the poetic expressions are the happiness in mind. And it's true because we see that, whenever poems or somebody is like, poetic is in front of us and they are expressing their heart out, it feels very pleasing, right? Blissful. And Prabhupada was saying in this lecture that all the Vaishnavas should be poets, all the Vaishnavas. And he's saying practically in last 200 years, all the Vaishnavas, then he's describing the names, so many names which I never even heard of. But the ones that I know that Prabhupada mentioned, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami was more than 200 years, but again, then Vaishnavas, right? This is a quality. Then Vrindavan Das Thakur, Lochin Das Thakur, then Kavi Karnapura. So all these Vaishnavas, and we can see even Prabhupada, he wrote such nice poems, Guitar Gan, then while on his way also here. So this is a very nice quality, right? It's just one more ornament. Alankara.
Like they say in the spiritual world, people don't walk, they dance. People don't talk, they are singing.
Singing, yeah.
Even Yashoda, while churning the butter and Damodar,
they're always singing.
Songs
Right.
of Krishna. She has made a one.
Even Bhagavad Gita also, in such a fluent flow, Krishna is singing. Arjuna is responding in songs, right? So we should. I mean, it's nice, right, to have that quality. I mean,
It's Krishna gives you that.
Yeah. If Krishna gives, obviously. So, yeah, but the thing is that we already have those qualities. right? Because Prabhupada, how many times he says that we are like teeming Krishna. We have those qualities already, but it is just that we are covered. Our consciousness, the real consciousness, is covered. And yeah, I really like this analogy that Prabhupada gave, was about the big fire that is happening, and then the spark. So the spark also has all the qualities of the fire, but as soon as the spark is removed, separated from the big fire, then there is no value. It is now covered in ashes. So then for us also, we have all those qualities, and sometimes we, whatever qualities we have, unfortunately we also see that, oh, this is my quality. Then we forget Krishna, that is coming from Krishna. So having those qualities and thinking that, no, I only am doing everything, I am God, I am the controller, I am the doer. So then also that is a problem. But that is, what can we do? This is the symptom of people in Kali Yuga.
There are many poets who have written nice poems,
Many.
William Blake and so on. But it's not about Krishna.
Right.
But they are very poetic.
Yeah. And then if you also hear them, and then it's very easy to connect it to Krishna conscious way many times, right? So even some simple poems also, which has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness, but it doesn't agitate anybody. I mean, of course, nowadays they are all writing so many nonsense. But in general, that's what the poetic expressions were. And like Mataji, you also said, right, that you said, I forgot what you said. Can you repeat?
Yeah, the devotee gets the qualities of Krishna. So
Devotee
Krishna
has-
has those qualities. Spark of Krishna's splendor is the
Right.
But we should not say if somebody is not poetic, he is not advanced, because he's not getting Krishna's qualities. It is not like that.
It is also not like that. If somebody is not a poet,
Kolabeta Sridhar was illiterate when Krishna sent Saraswati on his tongue.
right.
And he started singing
Yeah.
Krishna's
And then
glories.
there was this lady in Vrindavan who was bringing water from the Yamuna every day. She may not have been a poet. We don't know, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But she may be very advanced in spiritual.
Right. No, the point I was trying to make was that all these qualities are already in us, but it's just that they are not manifesting because we are not advanced yet. And it's not that hard, because in our Bhakti Shastri class last week, our teacher Pandit Srivas Prabhu, he gave us the assignment. Okay, write the poem on the first chapter, or whatever we have done so far. It was so hard. And I was just questioning that, Pandit Srivas Prabhu, why you ask something, memorize some verses, share your reflection on these verses. But he's saying write a poem, and not more than 20 lines. And
You can see what Kalakanda Prabhu has written copy.
yeah, I could have done that, but then also if you just write poems, it's very good practice also. We felt, Sri Radha and I, we both were writing, and you just feel using more.
It also depends on your vocabulary in some cases.
It can be simple also.
No, like, because if you like, Dravida Prabhu writes poems, he says I refer to the dictionary.
Yeah.
When you have certain words which rhyme, poetry has
Right.
certain rhyming and things like that. So if you have good vocabulary, then you can write good poems also.
Yeah. Simple. So we only wrote simple. Actually, what I did was I just took the verses that Arjuna is speaking, and just moved the words here and there. So it's very nice, like round and ground. So arms and charms. So it's like it works. So anyway, I'm just saying that it's a very good practice, and it's these qualities will manifest, will showcase in all the devotees when there is advancement. If there is no advancement, and
I think Prabhupada puts spiritual advancement as detachment from sense gratification.
that will also come.
That is the main focus of spiritual advancement.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of talent. Somebody can be a good orator, somebody can be a good poet. But the main quality, if you search Veda base and say the test of spiritual advancement is how you have taken shelter of Krishna is how you have become free from desires for sense gratification.
Right.
Because if you have taken shelter of Krishna, then you are detached from desires. He says like that in many places.
That is true.
He never says like that, oh, how good poem you can write is a measure of your spiritual advancement. If you see,
But again, like I'm saying,
I'm generally saying.
yeah, like I'm saying that why these qualities I'm saying is that they're there in us. Sometimes we feel that, oh, but I cannot do book distribution, I cannot give class, I cannot do DT worship, I cannot. This is there, but it's just that it's covered. And right now, because of our, who knows, even the devotional service is done by our own material desires, right? So because of that, we don't try to go out of the box, and we are like, sometimes we are just comfortable, okay, no, this is my service, I like to do this, so I will just do it. But we never explore. Who knows, if we try to do something else, like, if I don't like to do book distribution, and if I go someday and then, oh wow, this is so nice, who knows, this is my eternal service, right? Or if Prem Sindhu does everything, so I cannot say anything.
I don't write any poems.
You write poems in the heart, but you never reveal. Yeah, the whole point is that we must try to connect back to Krishna and try to surrender to Krishna, and yeah, Krishna will empower us. Krishna will give us, uncover our covered consciousness, and then all these qualities will manifest. So it is, yeah, the whole point is that, okay, this is because all these Vaishnavas show the same thing, that they are so surrendered to Krishna, and that is the reason that they are showing all these qualities. And okay, so enough of poetic drama. So now we can go to text 14. Eta chashru satam vidwan Suta no rishi bhasitum Katha Hari Kathodraka Satam Syu Sadasi Dhruvam. Etat, this, Shushru Satam, of those eager to hear, Vidwan, O learned, Suta Goswami, Na, unto us, Arhasi, may you do it, Bhasitum, just to explain it, Katha, topics, Hari Katha, Udraka, result in the topics of the Lord, Satam, of the devotees, Syu, maybe, Sadasi, in the assembly of, Dhruvam, certainly. Translation. O learned Suta Goswami, please continue to explain such topics to us, because we are all eager to hear. Besides that, topics which result in the discussion of the Lord Hari should certainly be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Purport. Would you like to read? Purport.
As we have already quoted above from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu of Rupa Goswami, even mundane things, if dovetailed in the service of Lord Krishna, are accepted as transcendental. For example, the epics or the histories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are specifically recommended for the less intelligent classes, women, Shudras, and unworthy servants of the higher class, are also accepted as Vedic literature because they are compiled in connection with the activities of the Lord. Mahabharata is accepted as the fifth division of the Vedas after its four divisions, namely Sam, Yajur, Rig, Atharva, and Atharva. The less intelligent do not accept Mahabharata as part of the Vedas, but great sages and authorities accept it as the fifth division of the Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is also part of the Mahabharata, and it is full of Lord's instruction for the less intelligent class of people. Some less intelligent men say that Bhagavad Gita is not meant for household, but such foolish men forget that Bhagavad Gita is meant for you. The Vedas are spoken by the Lord. Some less intelligent men say that Bhagavad Gita is not meant for household, but such foolish men forget that Bhagavad Gita was straightforward in our Vedas from time to time, and spoken by the Lord in his role as a creator. So Bhagavad Gita, although containing the high philosophy of Vedic wisdom, is for the beginners in transcendental science, and Srimad Bhagavatam is for graduates and postgraduates in transcendental science. Therefore, literatures like Mahabharata, Puranas, and similar literatures which are full of parts of the Lord are all transcendental literatures, and they should be. The difficulty is that such literature, when discussed by professional men, appear to be mundane literature like histories or epics, because there are so many historical facts and figures. It is said that here, that therefore such literature should be discussed in the assembly of devotees. Unless they are discussed by devotees, such literatures cannot be relished by higher class of men. So the conclusion is the Lord is not impersonal in the ultimate issue. He is the supreme person and he has different activities. He is the leader of all living entities and he descends at his will and by his personal energy to reclaim the fallen souls. Thus, he plays exactly like the social, political, or religious leaders. Because such roles ultimately culminate in the discussion of the topics of the Lord, all such preliminary topics are also transcendental. That is the way of spiritualizing the civic activities of human society. Men have inclinations for studying history and many other mundane literature, stories, fiction, dramas, magazine, newspapers, etc. So let them be dovetailed with the transcendental service of the Lord, and all of them will turn to topics relished by all the devotees. The propaganda that Lord is impersonal, that he has no activity, and that he is a dumb stone without any name and form has encouraged people to become godless, faithless demons. And the more they deviate from the transcendental activities of the Lord, the more they become accustomed to mundane activities that only clear their path to hell instead of return them home back to Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam begins from the history of the Pandavas with necessary politics and social activities. And yet Srimad Bhagavatam is said to be Paramhamsa Samhita, or the Vedic literature meant for the topmost transcendentalist, and it describes Param Jnanam, the highest transcendental knowledge. Pure devotees of the Lord are all Paramhamsas, and they are like the swans who know the art of sucking milk out of a mixture of milk and water.
Jai. There is also a footnote there. Is it here in Vedabase? It's not there? Okay, I can read it. Even 50 years ago, the social structure of all Indians was so arranged that they would not read any literature that was not connected with the activities of the Lord. They would not play any drama not connected with the Lord. They would not organize a fair or ceremony not connected with the Lord, nor would they visit a place that was not holy and sanctified by the pastime of the Lord. Therefore, even the common man in the village would talk about Ramayana and Mahabharata, Gita and Bhagavatam, even from his very childhood. But by the influence of the age of Kali, they have been dragged to the civilization of the dogs and hogs, laboring for bread without any sense of transcendental knowledge. So, such a nice purport, right? And this is a very common theme that Prabhupada also shares in most of his purports, and especially in Bhagavad Gita. So all this traditionally, all this was practiced. It was the part of life, to study scripture, to share scriptures. People would just know Mahabharata by heart, Ramayana, all the khandas and everything, Bhagavad Gita, all the 19 chapters. So nowadays it's like that. I know all the 19 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, and then all the 18 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the quality of the people in today's day and age. And even I remember when I was, in my childhood, which is like not, just 25 years ago, every day or every weekend, there used to be this Mahabharata, series that they would show. So people were still so connected with the Vedic messages and the Vedic texts that everything would stop. Nobody goes to work, and everybody would just sit in front of the TV. And so that was last, maybe 2 decades ago. And before that, people would study the scriptures. They would keep the scriptures with them, and they will pass it on from one generation to another. And Prabhupada was saying in one of his classes on the same verse that how his maternal uncle would drive like so far, they would drive to their maternal uncle's home so far just to study Mahabharata from him. Study in the sense not like, okay, this is student and teacher. No, just to be with them, and he knows that his maternal uncle will only talk about Mahabharata. So even Krishna says Bhagavad Gita, Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayanta Shamamita Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So they are always conversing, about Krishna, about glories of Krishna, about the pastimes of Krishna, about qualities of Krishna. And sometimes Krishna is too out of reach, then they talk about the glories of devotees and the qualities of devotees and all the nice, wonderful things how devotees are helping them. So,
this was written 50 years ago.
Which one?
Prabhupada's footnote. So this is 100 years ago.
Yes.
But actually, because of Prabhupada's work, it should be exactly like it was 50 years ago. And it is. Because Srimad Bhagavatam is read all over the world.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to the mercy of such Acharya, that now it's being. So that is a very good point, Prabhu, Suvalsakha Prabhu, that. So first of all, here, what is emphasized? We are all eager to hear, right? We are all eager to hear. So it is continuation from the previous verse that whenever Krishna consciousness, Krishna Katha is being spoken, we should be very eager, very enthusiastic. Okay, yeah, it's not like, I already know this. So many times I've heard this past time. So what I'm saying is all like just repeating, so everything you already know. And I think everything what I say is also coming from you. Prem Sindhu Prabhu, Sri Radhika Krishna, the Subal Sakha Prabhu. So maybe this is just for me. So every time we are hearing something, we should not think that I already know this. As soon as we say that, the gates in our brain is closed. Nothing will go in. Nothing will go in the heart, and that is also gonna boost our false ego, our pride. I know. As soon as we say I know, that's the end of the advancement, at least for that moment. But Krishna is very kind, so he gives us so many moments, and we are tested, we are checked if we really are curious, if we are really enthusiastic about hearing Krishna Katha, because it doesn't matter who is the speaker, right? If you love somebody, like for example, if you have your spouse, you love your spouse so much, and if somebody comes and they talk in a different language, but they're very nice, like, oh, your husband is such a nice person, and they're helping us so much. Yes, tell more. I don't understand anything, but they understand few words. Same thing, with your kid also. People, anybody can come, doesn't matter, black, white, young, old, but if they're glorifying the person you love, won't you just feel like, no, keep telling more? You will not wait that, no, when the special person comes, only then I will hear the glories of my son, right? So same thing with Krishna. It's not about the speaker, it's about Bhagavatam. So we should not be like that, where okay, only when somebody I like who speaks nicely about Krishna, then only I will hear. It's Prabhupada, in his classes, in his lectures, he would not go any esoteric way. I was hearing all the classes, and I was just thinking, Prabhupada is not cracking any jokes, or Prabhupada is not going like, okay, no, this is Krishna Leela. This is Prabhupada is very basic philosophy, which is very, very surprisingly, it's very pleasing to hear. Like, it's a very simple message, but he's puts it in such a nice way. So hearing Prabhupada itself will make our life very successful and give a very good boost in our Krishna consciousness. So there are 9 processes of bhakti, right? Prahlad Maharaj says. So the first is hearing. Yeah, he could have said first is Atmanivedana, but of course he said first is hearing. So hearing is that important. And sometimes devotees will say that each of these processes can be done independently, individually. You can perfect even one, and you can go back to Godhead. We have examples of that. So, and sometimes it is also said that one leads to another, right? Hearing, when you hear so much about Krishna, then automatically you speak about Krishna. And when you are hearing and speaking about Krishna, you will automatically think of Krishna all the time. And it is also true. I mean, I don't experience that often, but whenever I have studied, Bhagavatam, or whenever I have read something that I'm reading, so the whole day, it somehow gets connected to my life, and it gives it. We are seeing now the world from the eyes of Srimad Bhagavatam, or any scripture that we are reading, any Prabhupada lecture that we heard. Now we are seeing the world from that eyes. Otherwise, what usually people look the world from the eyes of CNN or Times of India or whatever other news channels are there, Fox News. So all the famous ones, right? So people see the world from the eyes of news channels, newspaper, and Prabhupada is also writing here. Yeah, mundane literature, stories, fiction, dramas, magazines, newspaper, etc. So that is the issue, because all these channels, all this source of information only amplifies what? The amazing effects of Kali Yuga. Yeah, everything is so amplified there that never hardly any good news on the news channels, right? So I don't know, maybe sometimes there is that, okay, somebody
When
won
India wins the World Cup.
when India wins the World Cup.
Is it good news for Indians?
Yeah, for Indians it's a good news, but the losing team is not the good news.
But we are concerned about ourselves, right?
Right.
If we are Indians.
So we are concerned about ourselves. Prem Chindu Prabhu is saying it should go on record. Everything.
So that's why Indians feel happy, right?
Yeah. So that's what it's news channels. So what are they amplifying? All this only that, oh hey, this is here. This is how you will be more engaged. You know, either it's happiness or sadness or misery. But stocks are up, you know, or stocks are down, or recession is coming, or recession is gone, or this politician now is the American politics is begun. Indian is over. So now people are so useless. They are, even they don't have any connection with those information. Still they are watching. Still they are still learning about it for no reason. So yeah, recently, you know, so this is what happened, all this war, you know, that's happening. So many people have nothing to do with it, but still everybody is judging, everybody is writing posts like, you know, oh no, we should not you know, harm the Ukrainians or Palestinians or Iranian, or yeah, Iranians. Yeah, so they have no connection, but then they are dedicated to support their party. Why? Because all these news channels are like feeding them all this garbage, and people love garbage. So,
But they are worried also whether nuclear war will start.
sure,
So Putin.
if your involvement can stop it, then please go ahead.
Whether we can go to some other place if it is going to be a nuclear war, whether we can find safety, right?
Making bunkers.
Yeah, so all this is so much of
Seriously, these people are making underground bunkers.
yeah, underground bunkers and stuff. Correct.
Seriously.
So yeah. The point is that people are so absorbed seeing the world from the eyes of all these avenues where there is nothing but amplified Kali Yuga, right? Um, but when the devotees see, wow, everything is all auspiciousness here. So nice. We can go to the programs, we can have prasadam, we can distribute books, we can have kirtan, we can have Sravanam Saturday classes, right? So nice. Everywhere you see is just auspiciousness. They are just seeing that the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu is flooding. And this is where I was thinking what you said, Prabhu, that before, it's just 100 years ago, Prabhupada wrote this, that, you know, people would be so enthusiastic about hearing. Then it was lost, and now again it's back. Again, people are reading Bhagavatam. Again, people are every day, every minute. Right now also there is, we know it or not, but every minute somebody is distributing Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam, and every minute somebody is reading it. So nice. This is all, it's flooding of Krishna's mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So it is not that it's, it is not that Kali Yuga's effects are so much and we are so absorbed and we are so worried, we are so stressed. I was in Govardhan last year. So there I met one very nice devotee, Brajavasi, a devotee. So that devotee, we were, you know, talking about it. Prabhu, you should come to Columbus. He's like, no, Baba, no, I cannot. So we started talking, you know, what are the pros and cons. So we were telling him that, you know, Prabhu, so see, this is how, you know, here it's so nice. There is no challenge, right? There is no effects of Kali in the Dham. So, and then he was saying, yeah, but your place, it's too much. In wherever you are coming from in USA, it's too much. It's way too much. Even we hear from all these visiting devotees, right? Sri Krishna Maharaj, we asked that, Maharaj, how do you like it here? It's like, very bad. So, and it is the fact. It is true. People are getting discriminated. So, somebody even threw something on Maharaj while he was doing Japa walk. Yeah. So it's in Cincinnati.
But Kadam Karan Maharaj was shot in Vrindavan.
Shot in Vrindavan.
He was shot in Vrindavan.
Yeah, even all these devotees also get attacked in the dham, but still their consciousness is, well, okay. But here the consciousness is, yeah, because they are being racist to me, something like that, or they are discriminating me. In India or in the dham, you don't get.
There was mafia.
Yeah.
In Vrindavan.
Problems are everywhere. So that's what we were discussing. That even in Govardhan also, all the mafias and all the thieves would come and steal everything. Yeah, even in the Mayapur Dham.
There was stabbing or something.
Correct. So the problems are there. So we were discussing, okay, how bad are the problems? Problems are there. So then that devotee said, no, whatever may happen, because if I leave the dham, then my consciousness will also go down. And the effects of Kali is very high in your side of the world. And I was saying, yeah, but that's what Paschatya Tarine, right? So Prabhupada also took that step. Prem Chandra Prabhu also had that discussion with
Brahmachari.
Yeah, Brahmachari in Vrindavan, Pawan Nitai Prabhu. So we were saying, Prabhu was saying that, Prabhu, what are you doing, there? You should come and stay in Vrindavan. This is the order of all the Vaishnavas. This is the order of our Acharyas. You stay in Vrindavan. What is the need? Why you are going out? So Prabhu said very nicely that, but we are followers of Srila Prabhupada. What Srila Prabhupada did, he didn't stay in Vrindavan. He went out and he preached, right? And he also didn't preach in some easy place, right? Sometimes we also like to go in easy places to preach. But Prabhupada said, no, I will go in the heart of New York where it's the worst. And Prabhupada also, it's not that Prabhupada is like, no, this is what I will do and this is what I was told, so I will do just that. He would adjust. First, he went to a different place where things were mild, but he saw, no, this is not gonna make my mission successful. Then I had to go to the big town, big city. He went straight to New York. So New York, LA, these were the hubs of all the drug addicts. And Prabhupada went straight to New York in the heart. Why? Because if you want to kill the disease, you go to the root. Correct? Prabhupada went to the New York, New York City, and there he started his Hare Krishna movement, ISKCON movement. So it's all because of the mercy of our Acharyas, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that now it's coming back. And it's like, there is a match going on and you already know the winner. Now you are given an option. Do you want to be the part of the winning team or not? Right? And you said, no, but I don't have any qualities. I don't have qualification. I don't have time. I don't have humility. Well, yeah.
That is humility.
Even if there is no humility, that's okay. Still join the team. But people make all the excuses. So this is like a big game of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where it's guaranteed win. Yeah, we play our role or not, there will be Harinam Sankirtan that will be spreading in every town and village, predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So yeah, we were discussing with that devotee, and we were discussing that how. So he gave a very nice perspective about the effects of Kali. So even though we were saying that there is so many problems and so many effects of Kali Yuga, he said, "What is Kali Yuga? It's nothing." In one sense, and now he is like telling me from a very advanced perspective that those who say that no, the Kali effects are very high. Kali is nothing actually, and then he said, in eyes of Brahma, every kalpa, every yuga, every day has 1,000 yugas. In one yuga, in one cycle, there are 1,000 yugas, right?
1 day of Brahma.
1 day of Brahma, 1,000 yugas. And then even if we compare, then all in different 4 yugas, how much is Kali Yuga? Only 432,000 years.
1,000 yuga cycles.
Yeah, correct. 1,000 yuga cycles.
Cycle.
So only 1,000 Kali Yuga cycles, correct? And then there are 1,000 Treta Yuga, Satya Yuga, and Dwapar Yuga, right? So compared to all of that, how much is Kali Yuga? Nothing. It's not even a blink of an eye, right? So it's not even like a passing of a cloud. We don't even understand, or we don't even care how fast the cloud is passing. We don't care. It's that insignificant. So
and our lifespan is even more insignificant.
Well, but that is the body's lifespan. Yeah. So if we see that like that, if we see from the eyes of Brahma, then it's insignificant. It's completely insignificant. So it's not that Kali Yuga is so big and so many problems are there. No, Krishna's mercy is even more magnanimous, and the effects of Kali Krishna will take care. Why to worry? Krishna will take care, right? I was hearing this one nice example of from Swayam Bhavan Keshu Maharaj. Sorry, I think we have to read more, but we can. I'll share this one about depending on Krishna. So one time he was telling this story of a devotee who was in London, Prabhupada disciple. This was long back ago. So the attitude of this devotee was so much that he said they've got this nice rental place for preaching, and it was very expensive. And devotees were telling that no, Prabhu, why we are going so much up above and beyond? It's like this is for Krishna. This is not for ordinary person. If the president comes, we do so many arrangements, right? So this is for Krishna, the master of all the masters. We have to give the best. So they got the best place, high rent, and now there is shortage of rent. Every month they are struggling. But that devotee was like, no, it's fine. Krishna will take care. Why do we worry? Every time the rent is due, they are struggling and everybody is tired, exhausted. That devotee is not like just saying that Krishna will take care, but he's also working hard. But the consciousness is Krishna will take care. And 1 month, there was nothing, 0 pounds. They didn't have any money to pay the rent. So they said, no, it's okay. Krishna will take care. Why do we worry? We are doing it for Krishna. If Krishna will not help us, then who will? Right? If because of their sincerity. So every day they would just go out on Harinam book distribution, and then they just saw the money was flying, like from the sky and falling, and the devotees just picked it up, and they said exactly how much the rent was needed. Okay, rest they left it, and they took how much ever was needed. They paid the rent.
Every month they got the money like that.
But it's not about the money or how they got it. It's about the consciousness that no, Krishna will take care. What are you? Who are we? Why are we taking so much stress? We should just do our part, right? Like you all are also amazing. Yesterday conference book distribution. So much of mercy. It's just overflooding. It's the dam is broken, and it's all flood. Columbus Bhakti Yoga, there is a flood. Then Sunday feast, there is a flood. Book distribution, there is flood. Home programs, there is flood. All this is what? A flood of mercy. Sravanam Saturday, so much of flood. So we should always think like that. That this is not about me. This is not about anyone. This is about Krishna. Krishna is the doer. Krishna will take care. If we play part or not, there will be a win. There will be a victory. Okay, so we can go to the next verse. We'll do the English translation directly. Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. Mataji, would you like to do the purport?
In the Bhagavad Gita 6.41, it is stated that even a person who has failed in the proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of devout brahmanas or in the houses of rich men like Kshatriya kings or rich merchants. But Maharaj Parikshit was more than that because he had been a great devotee of the Lord since his previous birth, and as such he took his birth in an imperial family of the Kurus and especially that of the Pandavas. So from the very beginning of his childhood, he had the chance to know intimately the devotional service of Lord Krishna in his own family. The Pandavas, all being devotees of Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Children who appear in such families fortunately generally imitate such worship of deities, even in the way of childhood play. By the grace of Lord Krishna, we had the chance of being born in a Vaishnava family, and in our childhood, we imitated the worship of Lord Krishna by imitating our father. Our father encouraged us in all respects to observe all functions such as Rath Yatra and Dola Yatra ceremonies, and he used to spend money liberally for distributing prasad to us children and our friends. Our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, got all inspirations from his great Vaishnava father, Thakur Bhakti Vinod. This is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. The celebrated Mirabai was a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna as the great lifter of Govardhan Hill. The life history of many such devotees is almost the same because there is always symmetry between the early lives of all great devotees of the Lord. According to Jiva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit must have heard about the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna at Vrindavan, for he used to imitate the pastimes with his young playmates. According to Sridhar Swami, Maharaj Parikshit used to imitate the worship of the family deity by elderly members. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also confirms the viewpoint of Jiva Goswami. So, accepting either of them, Maharaj Parikshit was naturally inclined to Lord Krishna from his very childhood. He might have imitated either of the above mentioned activities, and all of them establish his great devotion from his very childhood, a symptom of a Mahabhagavat. Such Mahabhagavats are called Nitya Siddhas, or souls liberated from birth, but there are also others who may not be liberated from birth but also develop a tendency for devotional service by association, and they're called sadhana siddhas. There is no difference between the two in the ultimate issue, and so the conclusion is that everyone can become a sadhana siddha, a devotee of the Lord, simply by association with pure devotees. The concrete example is our great spiritual master, Sri Narad Muni. In his previous life, he was simply a boy of a maidservant, but through association with great devotees, he became a devotee of the Lord of his own standard, unique in the history of devotional service.
Jai. So another very nice purport. Prabhupada's purports are like, the big light bulb. Yeah. Every time we open one, it's like just bright. So here, it's a fact that we had done something in the past. That's why we are somehow or the other here, right? It's a fact. And Prabhupada is saying here that this is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. So there is also the verse that one should not become a guru or a father or a mother unless they deliver their dependents, their children. So here, Parikshit Maharaj, he was so fortunate. Anybody knows what was the history before Parikshit Maharaj was Parikshit Maharaj? Who was he? No. But here he appeared in the great family of Pandavas, all pure devotees. And what to expect after that? He was playing with dolls and imitating the worship of the family deity. And this is also something that that was there in the tradition, in our tradition, that even Prabhupada, right? When he was a child and he wanted to do whatever his father was doing, so his father just gave him a small deity, and then he would do the arti, he would do achman and all. He would mimic his father, he would imitate. Then Rath Yatra. So all this leaves a very, very big impression on children's mind. And not just children, but even adults, for us also, when we do something, it leaves impression on others, right? When we are going for book distribution, if you're pleasing, if you're happy, please take this book. So the other person will think, oh wow, this person is so calm and so happy. Yeah, he's so caring. He's asking, he's not just after money. He's caring that, okay, he's asking all these questions that, okay, where are you from? You look so spiritual. Do you do anything, any spiritual practice? What do you do? And it's not this, no, whatever you're doing is not useful. It's waste of time. You take this, chant Hare Krishna. It's not that. People are generally people are caring, or they are at least supposed to be caring. So even adults also will leave impressions behind. So here, Parikshit Maharaj also was getting trained, and Prabhupada also, when just from that small act, you never know what this person will end up becoming. Right now he may be playing with the dolls, but then see future of Parikshit Maharaj, a great king, great emperor. Prabhupada, he was also just playing with dolls, doing all this arti and all that. Yeah, who knew at that time that this person will spark, they will open the floodgates of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So very important that we also give good impression. We leave them with good impression. They should just, even if they start mimicking us, still there is a big imitating us. Because we hear that no, imitating is not good. Yeah, we should follow. We should not imitate. But in here, in this context, imitating is also pretty good. Yeah, not bad. So many, in fact, it's for all the services, for any services that we are doing. First of all, it is not for anybody, it is not for my pleasure that I'm doing this service. It is for the pleasure of our gurus and our deities. So with that consciousness, if you are doing any services, it will automatically leave a good impression on others. Yeah, because people are seeing that how genuine, how serious this person is. It could be the most insignificant service. What is the most insignificant service in this temple, Prabhu? The most insignificant service.
Washing.
Pot washing? How about you, Mataji? Any insignificant service can you name? Cutting vegetables.
Eating prasad.
Eating prasadam.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Prabhu?
Cleaning the temple.
Cleaning the temple. But in Krishna's eyes, all these services are so much. This is amazing that any service that is done, even eating prasadam. Yeah. In fact, demigods are also waiting for that. Demigods are waiting. So when can that day come where I can go and eat prasadam, remnants of Krishna, right? We have heard in Bhagavatam that how Shiva and Brahma, they would all become pigeons so that they can eat the remnants of Krishna's leftovers. Yeah. So yeah, nowadays we see so many fat pigeons. Yeah, I have some near our home. Sometimes I wonder that what are they eating? So they become so fat. Coffee squirrels also. So maybe demigods are doing their trials. But yeah, even eating prasadam is such an amazing service. You should keep eating. But obviously, the consciousness is this is Krishna's mercy, and honoring prasadam. And of course, it is not just taking; it's also giving. Yeah, once you take it, once you taste it, it's so nice, so amazing. And obviously, the most organic, most natural thing to do is to give it to others, to tell others also about it. How amazing this is. So any service, there is no such thing as insignificant service. Every service is very, very important, very big, and yeah, so many billions of people are out there, right, doing so many activities. But any activity that is done in connection with Krishna, now that service has so much of value. That activity has so much of value. Otherwise, Amarendra Prabhu says, right, in one class, he said that if the whole world is smiling at you, but Krishna is spitting, yeah. So what is the value of that activity? But in the activity where the whole world is spitting at you, but Krishna is smiling, yeah. So how amazing that is. So yeah, we should do our services that way, that it is for the pleasure of the Lord. It is not for my name, fame, or it is not for anything that I will receive back. I will get the appreciation or credit. Yeah. So if everybody works that way, then just imagine, how Krishna would be pleased. And when Krishna is pleased, all the Vaishnavas are automatically pleased. Correct? Okay. Any questions or any thoughts? Okay, so we can go to the next verse, the last verse. We are almost out of time. Sukdev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, was also full in transcendental knowledge and was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, son of Vasudeva. So there must have been discussion of Lord Krishna, who is glorified by great philosophers and in the company of great devotees. Prabhu, would you like to read that purport?
The word satam is very important in this verse. Satam means the pure devotees who have no other desire than to serve the Lord. Only in the association of such devotees are the transcendental glories of Lord Krishna properly discussed. It is said by the Lord that his topics are all full of spiritual significance, and once one properly hears about him in the association of satam, certainly one senses the great potency and so automatically attains the devotional stage of life. As already described, Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of the Lord from his very birth, and so was Sukadeva Swami. Both of them were on the same level. Although it appeared that Maharaj Parikshit was a great king accustomed to royal facilities, whereas Sukadeva Swami was a typical renouncer of the world, so much so that he did not even put a cloth on his body. Superficially, Maharaj Parikshit and Sukadeva Swami might seem to be opposites, but basically they were both unalloyed pure devotees of the Lord. When such devotees are assembled together, there can be no topic save discuss of the glories of the Lord, or Bhakti Yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita also, when there were talks between the Lord and his devotee Arjuna, there could not be any topic other than Bhakti Yoga. However, the mundane scholars may speculate on it in their own ways. The use of the word cha after Vaisheshaki suggests, according to Sri Jiva Goswami, that both Sukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit were of the same category, settled long before, although one was playing the part of the master and the other the disciple. Since Lord Krishna is the center of the topics, the word Vasudeva Parayanaha, or devotee of Vasudeva, suggests devotee of Lord Krishna, the common aim. Although there were many others who assembled at the place where Maharaj Parikshit was fasting, the natural conclusion is that there was no topics other than the glorification of Lord Krishna, because the principal speaker was Sukadeva Goswami, and the chief audience was Maharaj Parikshit. So Srimad Bhagavatam, as it was spoken and heard by two principal devotees of the Lord, is only for the glorification of the Supreme Lord. The personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna.
Krishna, Hari Bol. So, the final verse of today's discussion, and the topic today was the importance of hearing Krishna Katha and not Kali Katha. Actually, the Kali Katha I just added while I was typing, because it is also the thing, right? When devotees, so here Prabhupada is setting the standard, and Prabhupada is using examples of Krishna and other devotees, other great exalted devotees, that what devotees should be talking about, right? And especially, okay, outside maybe there is a, you can ask about their well-being, how is work, and okay, how can you improve your finance or whatever. But at least in the temple, it should not be discussed, right? It should be about glorifying Krishna. Everything should be connected to Krishna. Prabhupada is saying very clearly, no topic other than the glorification of Lord Krishna. Very high standard, is it? It's very high standard, right? Because it is so easy to start doing the Kali Katha instead of Hari Katha. Very easy, because it's we all the time, we are obviously we all are working, or except Subal Sakha Prabhu. Subal Sakha Prabhu is working even higher than us directly to Krishna. But for us, we see, and we talk that, yeah, this is bad, that is bad, this politics, that politics, and this happened in the world, that happened in the world, and it's all about everything except Krishna. But when devotees are engaged in the service of the Lord, when devotees are hearing regularly, when devotees are serving Krishna regularly, then it's very easy to know that yes, every word, because it is also an austerity of speech. Correct. In Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna says that when the best way of using the tongue is about glorifying the Lord, and Prabhupada writes in that purport that everything should be referenced from the scriptures. Yeah. So truthful, peaceful. So it's a big austerity, but this is what is pleasing to Krishna. And also, it's not just pleasing, but it's also very helpful to us. It's also very helpful when we are, because now we, in order to even discuss anything about Krishna, we have to study about Krishna first, right? Then we can discuss. Otherwise, people. So Prem Sindhu Prabhu can, anytime we talk, Prabhu will say, Prabhupada says this, or Krishna in Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita, everything, all the devotees, whenever we talk. So why? Because there is so much of time invested in studying the scriptures, invested time in, when I came, Subal Sakha Prabhu was reading, so nicely. I was like, oh, you only give class. But we have to schedule you one day. We would like to hear from you, Subal Sakha Prabhu. So, and the purpose is that whenever devotees discuss, Krishna is pleased, and when Krishna is pleased, we are all pleased. And when we do that, it becomes our natural attitude also. It becomes our nature. Yeah, I wonder that, what all these great devotees, when Srila Prabhupada was there, physically, what he would discuss with his disciples all the time. Like, okay, at night, maybe 8 p.m., what would he be discussing? In the morning, after Bhagavatam class is over, we hear in the classes that, okay, now let's chant Hare Krishna. After the class, every class ends with, okay, now chant Hare Krishna. So, but I'm sure there will be, after Hare Krishna chanting, there will be some time when Prabhupada will be talking, like just not, off the record. So what would they be discussing? All these great devotees, Vaisheshika Prabhu or Giriraj Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So all these devotees, when they are in their free time, what are they discussing to each other? Yeah, how can we make this movement more successful? It's already so successful. How can we make more efforts? Or what did we read today? What did we hear today? And every time, at least when I try to ask that, okay, can you share something? Today I heard in this class of Prabhupada, every day they are listening to Prabhupada. Every day they are bringing up this, point they learned from Prabhupada's classes and books. So we should also make an effort on hearing more, listening more, and only then we can talk more about Krishna and less about our material situations. Okay. Okay, any thoughts, any questions? No questions?
So I think it's about interest, as you were saying, that if there's a program, somebody will say, okay, there's a program. So then someone will say, okay, where is it? There's a meeting. How will I go there? And so on. So it's about interest. So when you have more interest, then you say, tell me more about Krishna. But when there is no interest, then, like in my school days, there is some classes, history class or geography class especially. I was waiting when the period will get over,
Yeah.
Because
no interest.
No, it was not like feeling very good. So it's all about our interest. And wherever we have interest, that's where we spend time. Right? We like to spend time where we have feeling interest. So,
and based on our interest also we have our friends.
Yeah, friends, everything we do in life, everything is based on our interest. So it's a question of increasing our interest in Krishna. So that happens in the association, pure devotees.
Correct. They have so much interest so that all the time they want to hear more, they want to share more. Yeah. So even if when there is no interest, still, we should try. We should.
That is sadhana bhakti.
Sadhana. Yeah, correct. In the previous verse,
Vedi sadhana.
Prabhupada said, right? There are nitya siddhas and there are sadhana siddhas. So by practicing of following this process will liberate us. Interest and desire. Or they are the same?
Same desire, what you like to do, desire is what your interest.
Interest developed through the association. And coming in association with pure devotee, lava matra, sadhu sangha, self-sacrifice. Like, we met so many people yesterday and we gave them books. If they come to the temples, we have taken their contacts. It's up to us that they come in the association with deities and the devotees here and they get some experience. So then their desires, their interests will change.
Right.
So it's up to us to go out of the world and in the world and then connect people.
In a nice way, right? So that they feel like they want to hang out with us, not.
So like Bhakti Sam says, Thakur says, Pran aapke ache yaar, jai the project. So those who have life can preach. They're feeling so much, like the devotees are feeling so much joy in their heart that and we can also share our experience with them. See, this book has transformed my life. I was going through a rough time in my life, and when I read this book, it totally changed my perspective. I'm a much happier person. So go I would say, like, because it has transformed my life,
Right.
and that would affect them and then say, oh yeah, I want to read what's in that book. So we can share our personal experience, how that, and then be happy and joyful. Not that we are pretending, but we are, because we have gotten this knowledge.
Right. Yeah, many times it's just by looking at us devotees. I mean, new people can get attracted to this process just by the way we carry ourselves,
Correct.
right? The way we talk. It's very easy. It's very easy to tell who is pretending and who is actually, who means it. So yeah, even for every service, right? Per se, even during the kirtan also, it's like somebody who is like interested, or Harinam. So I was hearing this podcast of Sandipani Muni Krishna Prabhu. So that one, he was saying that one time he is part of Harinam Ruchi, who goes everywhere around the world, like all the continents, and they do Harinam. That's their full-time service. So he was telling that one time, one devotee, what he did was, while the Harinam was going on, he asked the new people that, what do you think of these people? So are you following what's happening? Then he would go and interview people who the book distributors just met and sold the books to. That, what do you think of him? What do you think of him? What do you think he's doing? He's like, I don't know, he wanted some money, so I just gave some money. Kirtan, the guy was asking that, what do you think of this Harinam? So this is all on YouTube, this whole interview. That what is this happening? It's like, I don't know, some music performance is very nice, very nice. A lot of colors and a lot of beautiful people. Nice music. But many times it's like, we don't convey our message that, this is not some material thing, this is not.
It's a third party perspective. Basically,
Correct.
Marketing strategy. People get it. How they market the product. So they get the feedback and based on they improve the.
Right, exactly.
So everything we have to use, spiritual also. You got to book distribute, then we need to know the strategy. We can't just keep on distributing books and we get tired, right? Actually, it's not targeting the correct audience. We don't distribute books and we get tired and we gain our energy. But targeting the right people is the best way of marketing also.
Well, right, we should target all the people, but what I was saying was that we should not think that, I am doing everything perfectly.
Correct.
Or I am doing everything correct. Why? Because there is no feedback. But this was very eye-opening, right? And this is, we can think, what would people yesterday or now we will meet today also in conference, what would they think of us? What exactly are we doing? Because there are incidents, there are episodes where devotees are just bluntly saying, just give me $5. That's it, right? We heard from Radha Maharaj's pastime when his father was at the airport. So he was like, but you Hare Krishnas, I'm okay, I'm all right, but you guys are just always, looking for money and right? Have you heard that?
At the airport. In the new temple, so we're asking everybody for donations. So people may think like that.
Yeah, it's all about money.
But we are asking money for the building the new temple. But we are engaging them in Krishna's service also by they're giving their money, they're getting a
So we have so many marathons, right? We have fundraising marathon, we have books marathon, December book distribution marathon. We set targets. We should also have devotee making marathon, that now we should have this many devotees every Sunday marathon. Every Sunday we should have at least 100 people. Now if we don't, then we failed. Then we have next Sunday we have to try again. We distributed what?
Maybe new people. Let's say 10 new people.
Yeah, sure. We should have some target that it's
Or
not
you
about.
call them and so that they can attend the Sunday feast. So.
Right. So we have so much of 3 million Bhagavad Gitas and 5 million Bhagavatams, but then there are 5 million devotees from that distribution. So follow up, feedback. How was the experience? Then it will help us also in one way. It will make us more careful. This is not something that I just put tilak and dhoti kurta or something and I went to distribute books. We are representing the master of the masters, the controller of the entire, the source of everything. So then we are not some. Prabhupada says we should be proud we are serving Krishna. We should take pride in it.
We should follow up.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the contacts that we have gotten, not from this, from previous, so many, it's like we have an Excel sheet of 500, 600 contacts. So, yeah, there should be a plan to organized way of asking them to come to home programs as well as Sunday feast programs, some programs.
Yeah. Or even just asking that, okay, how did you like that interaction you had with a devotee? Yeah, anything that we can improve, right?
Sorry.
No personal touch, so yeah, right.
No, I was saying that we can send messages and things, but when we call them, it is a little bit more personal.
Correct.
Then, or you go to their home. Sometimes say, "Can I come to your home and read Bhagavad Gita with you?"
Correct.
You just send a WhatsApp. There are so many emails going, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people. I mean, it's good.
WhatsApp,
Please send emails.
nobody looks at WhatsApp. We don't, unless we call them, they won't come.
And then you tell them, something, please come. It's more personal.
Yeah. Because we are not impersonal, sorry, impersonal, we are personalists.
And we should think that even one soul, means so much for Krishna. If we are able to make one person get into, not a devotee, to make someone a devotee takes
Gallons of
blood. But like a little thing that we can add, that they can come to the temple and hear one katha of Krishna. That, and that means so much to Krishna. So we should think that even little thing that we do can.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very nice, inspiring. We are doing a lot. But
And mostly when we distribute, we are going to Indian store. This is a Western event, so Prabhupada wanted not only
Locals.
He wanted Indian society for Krishna consciousness. He wanted international society. He wanted local people here, as you were saying, to participate. So
And so many said, like, we have read Bhagavad Gita, like Westerners, we have read Bhagavad Gita. One person was like, I'm going to the Buddhist temple, but I have read Bhagavad Gita, it helped me. So, I mean, he might be on a wrong path. And we said, okay, Thursday programs, we have a lot of Western audience, diverse group, you should come. So, it can make a difference.
right. Yeah, so intelligence, right? Intelligence and common sense also at the end of the day that we.
and they should feel that you love them. Basically, love them from a spiritual platform.
Yeah.
That you care about them. Then they will feel like, oh, this person, like you were saying,
Genuinely.
when you take interest in them. Like you sometimes say, so what is your occupation? What do you do? How? Like this something. So they think, oh, he cares, and we really care on a spiritual level. Everybody is a soul. So.
But they will feel it when we actually care and not we just saying it for the namesake. Because it's very easy to just just to strike a conversation. We say that no, ultimately I want to just give the book. I don't really care how his day is going or what they have been through, right? Ultimately, I want to just give the book. If that is the goal, then okay, they will also sense it.
But we are giving them Krishna also in the
Yes.
form of book. So Krishna will take care of them. also. We can't take care of everybody or thousands, millions of people.
We can't take care of ourselves.
Krishna will take care because we are giving them Krishna. So we want to give them book, but we are giving Krishna in the form of Krishna.
Yeah. And like in the previous verse, text 15, we are saying, leaving the impression. So it's everybody takes something from you. So whatever impression you leave them with, so that will be their perception of, okay, this is what ISKCON is. This is what Krishna consciousness is.
One person was saying, oh, the saint said, I'm all the time preaching. Sometimes they say something.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's preaching by example. By
Preaching
seeing
by
him, everybody is attracted.
Yeah. It's not just giving classes preaching,
Mhm.
but how you, like 24 hours a day, how you conduct your life, how much service you are doing to Krishna, what is that like,
Correct.
how much time you are spending in Krishna.
Yeah,
So,
people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Like how you behave with others. That's why they will be willing to hear more from you because they understand that you care for them.
Mm. That's why we also have devotee care. So
Yeah. And
everybody wants to be cared, right? Everybody wants to be taken care of.
so many people who are not taking books, we were still asking them to chant at least once Hare Krishna mantra. So they have that sukriti. So the next time they come across devotees, they have more chance to take a book and associate.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Anything? Prabhu, would you like to add something? Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande
Hari.